Ay, ay, ay. I said I wasn't going to drink coffee and then you
I
pushed the on air button. What?
pushed start and you I swear.
Gosh darn it, Mo.
It's still us, Mo and Amy from the Flippin' Fantastic podcast. This is just our behind the scenes where we talk about everything and anything except reselling. Make sure you subscribe and take a listen. Bye.
Happy Wednesday, Mo. How are you doing? How are you? You
I'm
good?
good. It's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
No, tomorrow is Wednesday. This is when it's aired. It
Oh
airs
yeah.
on Wednesday. Goodness.
I can't yeah. I
I
know. I
even have
forgot.
it written on my paper Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So I don't get messed up. And I know the other one, Flippin' Fantastic, is Friday. So, that's where I am. Oh my gosh. We were already yapping before we hit play.
I-
And we were talking about all kinds of stuff. But I okay, I don't know last week, I don't know if you talked about it, but last week Mo said, "Oh, I have to tell you about these TikTok mermaids." And I don't know if we mentioned it, but I need to hear about the TikTok mermaids, Mo, because I didn't look it up at all because I didn't want to like spoil the surprise. So, I need to hear about
People
it.
there's people on TikTok that tell stories, like they'll tell ghost story or whatever, right?
Okay.
And so the stories were floating around. And so, like, I know a couple of them that I watch. Like, they started out telling like ghost stories that they knew, like hauntings and stuff like that, or like weird stories. And
Are these real stories or AI stories? Do you know?
no, these aren't the AI story ones. These are just like real,
Oh,
you know what I mean, or folklore, whatever. They're just,
okay,
stories. So
sure.
people would tell the stories. Oh, did you ever hear the story about the Hopkinsville goblins? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the now what it is people will like tell them, like people send them stories, so like this happened to me or that happened to me, and like somebody got a story somewhere. So then we are like kind of a week late, it's kind of old news now, but the elites are eating mermaids. The elites
Oh,
are eating mermaids. that there
what?
are that there are fishermen that catch these mermaids, and the elites have parties where they eat them. And there's
What?
like, I heard stories about from the fishermen. I had stories from there's stories from the you just gotta plug it into TikTok. There's stories of like somebody being like working one of these events, and they were like it was like a mermaid, and yeah.
What? Wait a minute. So first of all, there I'm like, I gotta break this down. So mermaids are real then, according to these fishermen and things. And they're eating them?
Yeah.
They're like, what? Did they
The
say like, oh,
elites are
they're
eating them. The
the
elites,
elites?
The Illuminati is eating mermaids, I guess. I don't know.
What? That sounds crazy. But is there any photos? Did you see photos of mermaids when
No,
you were going through the TikTok? Oh,
no,
okay. I
of
don't
course not.
believe it then. I don't believe it.
No.
I've never
I
seen
saw
a
some AI mermaids, but
right.
I didn't see any. Yeah,
Wow.
no.
Yeah,
So that was
I've never heard of that. Or the elite are so like Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly are eating mermaids.
who knows? Yeah, probably for youth or
What?
something.
Or maybe they're making like some kind of like skin serum out of their tails, out of their like
The
the
fish scales, I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
The other one
That's
that's slightly more that's slightly more believable
oh, okay,
is
okay.
this week now, is that, well, because it's real, because they've done like like the ground penetrating radar or whatever, that there's stuff underneath the pyramids,
Stop it.
the pyramids in Giza. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Mo, okay. I just gotta
really
tell you
cool
this real
thing.
quick.
Yeah.
Matt told me the other night, he looked at me and he's like, why is my feed all about stuff underneath the pyramids? I was like, I don't know. It's not in my feed. That's so weird, Mo, that you were saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He didn't tell me about it, but go ahead. I just think that's so funny.
Well, yeah, so it is in the news, because there's like, if you've ever watched, why are you flipping out?
Oh, no, that's the other podcast.
I don't know. There was I opened a website, and you, um, so there's like, there's an entire city under the pyramids. I mean, technically could be. Because they've done that LiDAR or ground penetrating radar or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's always there's if you watch Ancient Aliens,
Okay.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. God. Or you read any of the things, you know, there's a lot of weird things about the pyramids in that they've never, like, nobody's actually buried in any of the pyramids. Like, they're not tombs, actually. Like,
Okay.
all the tombs is in the, like, in the valley is separate. It's in the Valley of the Kings and all that kind of stuff. And their alignment and what, I don't know, people have theories about them being some sort of energy generators.
Oh, okay.
There's like theories about that. Anyways, but there's so now the theories about what's underneath
Uh-huh. Cities.
is popping off this week. There I've read though too, there's stuff underneath. You know that guy, I don't know if you ever watch any like ancient Egyptian or Egyptian stuff like on any of the channels. His like Dodi Hawass or something. I forget I think that's his name.
Oh, no, I don't
Like
name.
he's in charge. He's in charge of the Egyptian antiquities. He's like Egyptian guy.
Huh?
And there's like apparently there's like stuff under the Sphinx like that nobody's allowed to go see. You know what I mean? Like
Oh.
they don't take anybody. There's
Wow. I'm gonna
so
have
I
to
mean there
check
could
that
be a
out.
whole, you know. I mean
Civilization.
the technology's showing something's under there.
Oh.
So, you know.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, I don't see why not, you know, because yeah, that whole thing is just fascinating to me. Like, how did they build
Yeah.
those?
Hmm.
How do they build those? Like, it's just amazing. But yeah, I've
I
seen
know.
some of the stuff about, you know, yeah, that could be a whole podcast, like a literal whole
Oh yeah.
podcast on its own,
I
you
totally
know?
would love to go there someday, but I am kind of a risk averse person, and that area of the world is just not somewhere I would be comfortable going.
What do you mean?
You know,
We can
low
make
tear triggers with those.
we'll make a group trip. We'll take a group a group trip to Egypt
I
and it
watched a
where our
guy. He's actually a guy that does. I haven't watched him in a long time. He does lockers, storage lockers, and he just does a whole like he just does whatever on his this channel. But
Mhm.
he and his wife or fiance or girlfriend, whatever, she's Egyptian, but she's born here. She's not, but she has
Uh-huh.
relatives over there. So they went to a wedding there,
Okay.
and it's also like a cultural thing. He's like, you can't. He's like, they got an Airbnb, and it was because they're oh that was it. They weren't married at the time. I don't know if they are now,
Mhm.
and they all their relatives here said you can't get a hotel, they're not going to let you, you're not married, right?
Oh, wow.
And he's like, well, I'm like a lie, how do they know, right?
That's true. Let me see your marriage
But so
certificate.
they got like they were there for a while, so they had got this Airbnb, and it was a piece of crap, and then they went, I think it was probably all for show for the videos, but
Mhm.
but then they moved to a hotel that was like you sat outside to eat and the pyramids were right there. It
Oh,
was
wow.
amazing. It was
Wow.
amazing. But everywhere they went, they took a tour guide. Like they took somebody with them
Oh,
because you have to. You get scammed, you get do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You get scammed, you get robbed, you get
Mhm.
and they went to the other thing is they went somewhere, I think the Valley of the Kings or something for a tour, but there's certain places they wouldn't was it like they wouldn't let you go because you're not Egyptian? I don't know. There was like off limits
Oh, I
places
see.
and I don't know. And then like
Wow.
people are yelling at each other all this like I don't know how to say this. It's all that Mediterranean culture. They're very loud and they're
Uh-huh.
very they bargain like everything you there's no set price on everything. You bargain. Like
Yeah.
it's a very
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's a
You
very
can't be
high energy
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
I
and
see.
everybody's just yelling at each other and they don't care, whereas like us as Americans, like you only yell at somebody when they do something super stupid and you're really angry, out on the street, like
Uh-huh.
they almost
Yeah.
kill you in the car or something, but like it was like everywhere they go, like it was like there was like an argument kind of, but that's like how it is. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's
Wow.
one of those I couldn't
Yeah, I see.
my my anxiety couldn't do it.
You'd be like, how much is that? Oh, no, how much you gonna give me? And like, oh no, I don't want it anymore.
Well, it was just like when they were like they drove to the place where they were going and then they got in golf carts to go to like the Valley of the Kings or whatever. And some lady starts then some people start doing something like getting in and they're not supposed to, and then this their tour guide or some other lady starts yelling at them, like everybody's yelling at everybody and they're
Oh
just like,
no.
oh my god, what's going on? And he was
Oh my.
basically like, this is how it is here, this is just how
Oh,
they are.
I guess I'll stick to Universal Studios.
It's like someplace I would want, but that's very, I mean, I feel like I've been to like Southern Europe, like Italy and stuff, and that's kind of how they are. Like they're
Yeah.
just yelling. They're just always
Wow.
yelling.
That's
They're just
crazy.
always yelling.
I don't
I mean,
that's
to me, to them, they're like, "What? We're not,
Mhm.
but like they were just always yelling at each other. Jordan and I are like, man, everybody's
Oh
yelling.
wow. No, thank you. I don't know. I would be like all like, yeah, like, oh no, I don't want to deal with it, you know?
No,
Oh my.
but I would love to see the pyramids. And that
Hmm.
hotel they went to, and that well, literally they sat outside. They're in the desert. They sat outside, and this I'm like, it looked,
It
it
looked like a
almost looks
fake.
fake. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow. I saw like you know how they show those things on TikTok or whatever, like Instagram or TikTok versus reality. They show
Yeah,
those side by sides. And there's that place. Where's it at? I think it's in California. It's called like potato chip rock. It's like that really thin rock that hangs over like a ledge and people go sit on it, but it makes it
I
look
think
like it looks like it's
I
paper
think I know.
thin. And
Yeah,
they showed like TikTok is like, somebody standing on the rock with the sun and the moon and it looked
yeah,
really glamorous. And then
yeah,
the reality was there was like a line of 100 people waiting to go take their pictures on that rock.
yep,
So that kind of just takes the the like the nature out of it to me. It's
yeah.
like it's not something you come across. It's literally on a map. It's the
Right, the
tourist.
mysterious thing. Yeah,
I know. And what do you if you want to do a video or something, you would have to like tell the crowd to hush or something. Oh my gosh. That's just insane. Insane.
yeah.
Oh, and what else? I saw that speaking of like TikTok stuff news, I saw that George Foreman died this
Oh
past
yeah.
week or that week
Mhm.
or whatever. And
Yeah,
then, everybody knows he named all of his kids George, which I think
George.
is hilarious. I think that's hilarious that he named them all George. I mean, that's like, that's just better than the first, the second, the third to me. Cause it's like, I want you all to take advantage of my legacy and, be be known. But the reason I brought it up is because of this article that I saw attached. It was talking about the George Foreman grill that he had, and it said that it earned $240 million for him. And I was like, that's insane. 240 million.
I
So
everybody had one.
I know, but it's just kind of like forget that he was a boxer, like a world
Right.
class boxer, and like
Yeah.
everybody knows. I guess if you asked like well, they probably don't know any of it, but like if you ask people George Foreman, they would say either a grill or he was a boxer.
Yeah, right. Well, they would
So
probably say the grill because I don't know if you watch The Office. There's a very funny episode
of the
where
grill.
Michael burns his foot on his George Foreman grill. And they're like,
Oh,
"How do you do that?"
I do remember that, but I don't remember like how it went down. I've only seen it once. Like I haven't
He said he
watched it
said,
a lot.
"I'd like to wake up to the smell of bacon." So he has a George Foreman grill next to the bed and he turns it on and goes back to sleep and then gets up
Oh my gosh, I totally
and he
forgot about
stepped on.
that. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I was like binge watching it for a while and then
Mhm.
I watched it so much that I was like I had to take a break and I just never picked it back up. I don't even know
Yeah.
what season I was on, but I was just like, how had I never watched this before? I don't know. I had no idea. never. But
because you don't have TV.
240. So we just have to come up with that one grand idea so we can get
I
240,000.
guess.
Or no, 240 million.
Million.
Million. I think I said thousand. But yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. And I saw this morning, did you see that DeSantis is calling for an abolishment of all property taxes in Florida,
Oh
which is
wow.
I am like, oh, I'm like, I'm excited to like watch this unfold to see how it
Yeah.
really happens because I just did a quick Google of it and it said that the average person in Florida pays $2,400 a year in property tax, which I'm sure is
Hmm.
probably it said average, so whatever, take it for what you will. But then there was this
Yeah.
other county, I don't know how you say the name. It was like Saint something, Saint Lucie maybe, Lucie. I don't know how you say it,
Hmm.
but theirs is like the highest. That county has the highest property tax, and it said the average was like $6,800 a year. That's a lot, like as an average. Sixty eight
There's
hundred average. That's a lot.
in Pennsylvania, their property taxes are really high in some places.
Uh huh.
Ours, well, we just they've been using forever like the value of your house from like the 80s. So my house was built in the 80s, so it was like the year it was built, but I think it
Uh
was like
huh.
1983 or 85 or something.
Uh
That's what
huh.
they've been using, but they've just hired some company to reassess everybody's um
Yeah.
and people are like my house would never like that's the whole neighborhood app lately between the high electric prices
Uh huh.
and the property tax. My house would never sell for that. And it's like, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Ours
Ours
changes a
was,
lot. Our
I mean,
property
ours was in the
tax.
ballpark of what we would sell it for. So,
Yeah.
but
Ours
they're not
changes
going
a
to
lot.
actually use that complete number. Like it's going to be like a, I don't know. They're going to go up, but not
Yeah.
that much. I don't think. I don't know.
It is crazy
Yeah.
because we'll.
Well, they don't have income tax down there, right? State income tax in
Yeah.
Florida. That's why
Yeah.
everybody moves there.
Uh huh.
Low property tax.
Yeah. But
Now
now
maybe
if they
no
get,
property tax.
I
Apparently,
know
I did hear that they had, they actually had a surplus. Like they're not in debt. Like they have money.
the state has money.
That's what I thought. I
Huh.
heard it or read it somewhere.
Well, I guess if they get rid of the property tax, which I think that's awesome. Like it's I think I don't know. It said breaking news. So I don't know if it was like clickbaity breaking news, but that's good for you know that's good. You don't have to worry about it. I
Yeah.
know ours goes up all the time, and it fluctuates too, because
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, ours doesn't.
like our it's
That's
kind of
why. Yeah.
it's almost like a crime because ours will go up a lot, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
your property value is now this, and we're like, bullshit, it's not because
Yeah.
it's not. But then it'll go down a little bit, but then it'll go
Yeah.
really high, like really high. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like,
That is weird.
we just joke like, "Oh, the city must wants need more money, so they raise all of our property taxes." You know?
Yeah, see, ours was like that set amount. So it was
Since
like
the 80s.
1983
Yeah.
value or I mean or whenever it was built, like, newer
Yeah.
properties, a lot of new houses. But
There is no way ours could be like that. If it was from when it was built, it would still be like 100 and something thousand. And the
yeah.
houses in my neighborhood sell from like four no like 500 to a million. And
Mm,
it's I mean like in the how like different neighborhoods like they have different phases, like
uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
last phase it seems to always be the most expensive phase. So
Yeah.
the last phase built in our neighborhood is like the like $1 million phase. But
Yeah.
I can I can't imagine when they were built, they were probably like 400, 300,000. I don't know. No. But I know that this neighborhood was like in the low to mid 100s when it was built. But it's just gotten so it's gone up because it's like we live in like the area where people want to send their kids. So it's like a sought after neighborhood, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe that's why the property tax goes up too, because they're like, oh, people are like seeking, they will put like in our little groups, they will even put if anybody's looking to move, we want to move into your neighborhood. Can you
Yeah.
please let us know? Like it's kind of like that. They're like poaching basically to get you to move out of our neighborhood. And it's only because of the school district. Like, I mean, it's a nice neighborhood, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like the grandest neighborhood or something like that. I don't know.
Right. You know
But
what my parents bought their first house for?
what?
I mean, it's a small house, but
Huh?
21
Really? That's
in
crazy.
I think they bought it in like 69 maybe
Oh, okay,
before I
okay.
was
Yeah, I remember my mom had bought their house in 80 84. That was the first house they owned. And they paid like 76 for that
yeah.
house in 1984,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, they
kind of,
bought when we moved that they sold this one for 62 63.
yeah.
And I think the house they own now, they paid 120 for it, 120,000. It's probably 5 to
Hmm.
6 depending
Yeah.
what they could sell it for,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Wow. Yeah. You know why? Because you live so close to Biden and people want to live there. Speaking of Biden, have you seen Biden? Oh.
Nope. I did send you that thing though. I should have went if I
Oh
if I wanted to
yeah.
get struck by lightning, I could have went to church and saw him on St. Patrick's Day.
Mo, I can only imagine if you went to church and saw him on St. Patrick's Day and you did like some quick footage and we could like insert it right here and you've got like Biden walking by and you're like doing a peace sign to
That
him.
they come and snatch your phone from you in a hot minute. They got pictures like the newspaper had pictures of him. That was, that was coming out of the church.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
that's honestly, I think that's the last time that's like since he's been he's been pretty low profile
oh, you're gonna say like that's the first time people
that
have
I've
seen him?
seen him and,
Hmm.
anywhere or, seen anything about him.
Yeah. Man. Well, what's the Easter? Easter's a big you go to mass on Easter, right?
Do I? I don't
No,
go.
no. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
do
yeah.
people? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you should. Maybe you'll run into him.
Let's sit there Easter.
Yeah. True. It might be a little long.
Well, regular Easter Mass is fine. It's Saturday night is the Easter Vigil, and that's like, you know, hours long.
Oh,
Ugh,
really?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine it
Well,
would
and
be.
usually like Catholics, like anybody that's converting, they like they'll baptize people, they'll have their confirmation or what, that kind of
Oh,
thing
yes. Yeah, that's true.
on Easter Vigil.
Oh man. Well, think about it. We'll ask you. When is Easter? Oh, is Easter in March or April this year?
Easter's in April. I'm gonna say it's like around the 20 something, 20
Oh, wow.
20th.
Like towards the end of the month.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like the latest.
Wow.
It's pretty
And
late
then
this
my
year.
birthday is in May. So then my birthday is right after that.
May
When's your
baby.
I'm a May babe. I'm a Taurus. I'm
A
sure.
Taurus.
I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you can tell
That
by
makes
my personality. Exactly.
sense.
I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus baby. Totally, totally fits me too. So guys, let us know if you have any mermaid hors d'oeuvres over the your weekend outings and
Do you
with
prefer
that.
torso or tail? Breast or tail?
Oh, God. Breast or tail. Jesus, Mo. Stay sassy, guys. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching and check out more of our videos right here. Stay sassy.
Oh my gosh.